Weed is ruining your life. Now, you think it might not affect you. You think that this thing is not addictive, but you clicked on this video for a reason, okay? If you don't know who I am, I'm starting this series on my YouTube channel about self-improvement and about some questions that my friends have, some things that I've personally went through in my life, and just speaking truly to you guys about how I feel, how my friends feel, and maybe we can talk these things out because I know I'm not the only one who feels these type of things. Okay, I'm 22 years old and I know I can relate to a lot of people and hopefully I can help you out. And so you clicked on this video because I'm assuming you smoke weed. You know it's a problem and you need to quit, but you're so reliant on it. You clicked on this video and you need all the help you can get. And so to give you a little bit of a background of who I am, I was addicted to this drug for years and years of my life. I first smoked when I was in like 8th grade for the first time. Hated it, got super fried, hated it. Smoked again my sophomore year, and then from there, it was history. Sophomore year, smoked. Junior year of high school, smoked damn near every day. Senior year, even worse, and all that COVID stuff was going on every single day. And then I get to college, and I smoke even more, right? I started smoking in my dorm room. Funny story, I was on the football team. We set the fire alarm off. It wasn't a good situation. My roommate at the time left stuff on the desk. Cops came, seen all the stuff in the room. We ended up having to tell our coaches, not a good situation, okay? This caused a lot of trouble in my life. This caused a lot of confusion in my life. And I know you're probably feeling the same thing. You're feeling all the symptoms that I felt in the past. Now keep in mind, it's been 2 years since I last smoked, but I can still relate to you. I can still relate to the feeling of wanting to smoke all the time, even with your friends, or then it transitions to by yourself. And then you get a pen and then you smoke it and do it every single day. You go to school high, you wake up, you wake and bake, everything. It gets to be obsessive. And I wrote some things down here that I think you probably feel, okay? Number one that I wrote down is brain fog. People say that you can't get hungover from weed. They say that only comes with alcohol. You wake up from drinking too much. You have a terrible headache. You feel like shit. Weed is not as intense. But when you wake up after smoking for a whole day, say on a Friday, you get done with school, you come home, you go with your friends, and then you smoke. You get fried. You go to bed fried. You're going to wake up the next day. Your brain's going to be cooked. You're not going to know what's going on. You're going to be slow. You're going to be lazy. And this is that brain fog that lives within you. It's in your brain. This brain fog seems to never go away. You can't really think clearly. And this happened to me in my life. I just would wake up, brain fog, couldn't think clearly, and I started to spiral downward because I knew that this was not the path that I wanted to go down. I didn't want to be the kid. I didn't want to be the grown adult who's still smoking weed, who still can't think clearly, who can't articulate his points clearly. I didn't want to be that person. And weed definitely makes you not think clearly. And you're feeling this. You clicked on this video, you feel this. You feel this brain fog, and it's terrible. It's terrible looking at it from the outside now, how much of a robot I became. I became a robot, right? I was just following the leader. I was not taking my own initiatives. I wasn't creating a path that I knew would lead me down success. I was just doing what everybody else did, being a degenerate, okay? That's not what you want to be. I'm trying to convince you, okay? This video is basically me trying to convince you to quit weed, to quit this drug. It's terrible, okay? Number two that I wrote down that kind of ties with brain fog is your low motivation. You have this low motivation. I know that you want to be successful. You want all these things. You want to take care of your family. You want to provide for your future wife, for your kids. You want all this stuff. But when you wake up after you smoked, this motivation is gone. And this motivation does not translate to discipline. You stay in this low motivational state because after you complete a hard task, After you work super hard at your job, you're trying to get promoted. You come home and then you get fried. You smoke weed. Then you hop on the video game. And then you waste your evening. And then that translates to the weekends. When you smoke, you go out, you party, you get crossed, you get effed up, maybe hook up with a girl. And then you repeat the same cycle on Monday. And days start to get clumped together, and days turn into weeks, turn into months, turn into years, and you're a grown man still trying to spend your last dollar on weed. But you have this thing deep down within you that wants to be successful. But it's masked. It's masked. This motivation has a cover over it, and it can never be translated into the real world because of weed. You're relying on this drug. You'll spend your last dollar getting high. You need to start rewiring your brain and start to treat this drug, weed, as something that you just stay away from. I mean, it's ruined your life, or you feel the effects of these two things. You need to make a change. Okay? Point number 3. And this is very important and something that I've had to accept. As you continue to grow, as you continue to become a better person, you are going to separate yourself from the pack, from the current friend group that you're associating yourself with. You're going to grow apart from these people. And I just want to let you know that that's totally fine. It's fine. It's totally fine that you are growing, and these people that aren't growing, they're declining, are not going to align with your beliefs or values anymore. You're going to have to accept this as a truth, as a fact. When you stop smoking, because most of the time, all your friends smoke, and you like to smoke with them. You have something in common. And then you stop smoking, they're going to stop asking you to hang out. It's going to happen. It happened to me. Yeah, Jace, want to come smoke? Come on. Nah, I'm okay. I don't want to do it. Okay. Well, I'll ask you next time. Jace, you want to? I'm okay. I quit. I'm not the person who smokes anymore. Then slowly, they stop asking me to hang out. And you got to accept the fact that when you grow, you're going to have to shed some skin. You're going to have to shed some people in your life. And that's just the reality of it. So as you grow, people in your life will start to grow away from you. And that's totally fine. Because one day they're going to look at you and they're going to be like, damn, remember that Jace kid? Yeah. What's he doing nowadays? You know all the goals he was talking about? You know, he told us that he's going to quit weed and become this successful business owner. He's a business owner now. He's successful. And that's just how it's going to be. And you're going to even forget they exist. Because most of the time they're going to talk shit. Most of the time these friends are going to talk shit. Oh, Jace, okay, he's starting a business again. Oh, he's trying to be successful. He doesn't smoke anymore. He thinks he's better than us. All that shit is going to happen, and that's okay. You're going to see where their true values lie when you start to become better than everyone around you. Number, what is it? 4. And this goes more on, I guess you could say it's controversial, whatever. I don't know if there's some new studies that came out, but people say that weed's not chemically addictive. Okay, that's a fair point. Chemically, it's not addictive, but the dopamine that you get from smoking is addictive. You get dopamine, like I said earlier in the video, when you do something super hard, say you work super hard at your job, you're trying to get promoted, and then you come home and then you smoke, you're going to get that huge dopamine release when you smoke weed. This drug is addictive. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what any studies say. This drug is addictive because I firsthand experienced this. When I was addicted to this drug, I would try to smoke at any time I could. If I wasn't high, by the end of the day, I would do the craziest things just to get high. And you have to accept the fact, and you have to realize, because I knew back in the day, I was like, people in my life would be like, bro, you're addicted. You should stop smoking weed. And I would be like, bro, I'm not addicted, bro. I could quit anytime. You probably told yourself this a million times. I'm not addicted. I could quit literally anytime. And that's just not true. Once you acknowledge that you were addicted or are addicted to this drug, you'll start to create a different relationship with it. You will start to see it as a negative rather than a positive. And slowly you can start to change your behavior. Okay? And all these things in combination with each other are all the reasons why I quit. All the reasons why I decided to go onto a better path. I can think more clear now. I have motivation that has translated into discipline. I have better friends now that are aligned with who I am and my values. And my dopamine is attached to better things than weed. It's attached to work. And once I accomplish hard work, I get a dopamine release rather than the dopamine coming from the weed. Right? And so my life has completely changed. When I look back 2-3 years ago, I was a completely different person. I quit smoking weed 2 years ago. I think it was January 1st, 2023 was the last time I smoked. I took a video of it shaking my head when I was smoking the joint. And from that day forward, I made an obligation to myself to never smoke weed again. And I'm a changed man for it. So I hope all these points really hit home and you related to all these points, because I truly want to help you out, because this is not, people just overlook this. People overlook weed consumption. People overlook what it does to the youth, because I started smoking when I was 14 years old, 15 years old. I was a kid. I'm 22 now. And so it really affects you and damages you. And I hope that I could convince you to start leading and becoming a better person. So take this information. This is episode 2. And if you enjoyed it, comment in the comments below if this has helped you out. Share it with your friends. This is only episode 2. And take this information and apply it to your own life. And like I say at the end of all my videos, I wish you the best of luck and stay locked in.